Welcome back into the Washburn football preview series. The Washburn Ichabods kicking off against the Lincoln Blue Tigers 4 days from today. That is right. We are inching closer and closer for the Washburn Ichabods taking on the Lincoln Blue Tigers. 6 o'clock kickoff from Yager Stadium or Bowl. 5:30 pregame coverage on Country 106.9 on the FM dial or My Country 106.9.com. If you want to check. We also got the Washburn Coaches Show coming up. It'll be at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill, Huntoon Gage. Come on out. It'll be on Tuesday evening from 6 to 7, talking with head coach Craig Schurig on all things Washburn athletics and Washburn football. But we continue our countdown. We started at number 10. Now we're all the way down at number 4. If you missed any of the others, very simple, very easy. Go back and check them out. Head to our YouTube page, Sports on 580 WIBW. You can also go to WIBW and it'll have all of them up there. Starting at number 10 with expectations, number 9, one-score games, whittling it all the way down. Yesterday, we talked about the defensive line, and it should be a strength. Well, today we are going to talk about a position group that has been very, very deep for the Washburn Ichabods since the head coach Craig Schurig era began. That is the wide receivers, and how deep can this unit go? Dating all the way back to Washburn Hall of Famers Sam Sissom and Joe Hastings, to older players like Michael Odupatop. Well, you can add another name to that list, the returning J.J. Letcher. James Letcher Jr., we all remember his electric season a year ago. Looking at some of his numbers, he sits 9th all-time in yards, 5th all-time in receptions, and 6th all-time in touchdowns. He can very well end up, if he has a good year, 3rd all-time in yards. Don't think he can get to 2 or 1. He'd have to have a monster year. If that very well could happen. But he could end up receptions in Washburn history, passing Sam Sissom. So that is incredible. We know what JJ can bring to the table. Catch it in traffic, catch it at the line of scrimmage, yards after the catch are kind of what separates JJ from a lot of people. We also know that he's got some dance moves in the end zone. We found that out watching the Fort Hays State overtime walk-off win with his little dance in the end zone. But Letcher coming back is so big for the Ichabods, as it gives them that go-to guy on offense. You need that. So Letcher coming back is big. But the depth of this unit might be what separates it from a lot of other units. Not many wide receiving groups in the MIAA have a number 2 wide receiver as good as the Ichabods. Say it with me now. Peter Affle, all he does is catch touchdowns. Last year, the speedster had over 500 yards, 29 receptions, but 8 of those were touchdowns. That is an impressive reception to touchdown ratio. It really, really is. The game, 2 touchdowns there, and he can flat out fly. And another year in the system, J.J. Letcher and Peter Affle, those 2 guys make a phenomenal 1-2 punch. But you need more than a 1-2 punch. Depth, that's going to be a question. Back after 2 years, took a little dip in the transfer portal. Colin Wilson, he is back. He had a great 2019 season, grabbing 7 touchdowns, had over 500 yards. He's back to finish off his playing career, so he should add. Tice Brown is back for his sophomore season, snagged a couple balls a year ago. He is having a good camp, according to several people. Look for Zach Cummings and Cole Keller also to round out the top 6 at wide receiver. Don't be surprised if Hunter Browning has a few catches in there, as he can line up in that flex position as well. But this wide receiver unit, you've got 2 really, really key cogs, but that 3rd and 4th wide receiver, if they can be a viable option, this wide receiving core that Washburn has had in some time, they can be really, really special. We talk about the offensive line helping out a new quarterback. Well, having 2 guys and 3 and 4 really helps out a new quarterback. But Letcher and Peter Affle should have a monster season. I also want to include the tight ends in this spot, and they are a veteran group, and Washburn likes to run a lot of heavy sets. They like to run 2 and 3 tight ends. You can throw in the fullback in this situation, Connor Searcy, But they got 3 tight ends a year ago after changing positions. Bryce Eaton is back after sustaining an injury. You got sophomore Trey Pavarnik. He got valuable reps last year. Could be a tough matchup in the red zone. Cersei out of the backfield has great hands. So the tight end position, the pass catchers for the sake of our team, pretty good. And if they can elevate their play a little bit, they might be one of the best in the league, but also in the country. So that is headline at number 4. Headline number 3. We go to the defenses. Maybe the deepest position that Washburn has had in the last 15 years. But it won't be maybe as veteran-laden this year. We'll get to that coming up tomorrow on this Washburn preview series here on WIBWNewsNow.com.